memorized. But when I get up the nerve to tell you the words, they never seem to come out right. And that's exactly what their fear is. Their fear is just not getting it right. Not being able to say it right? Okay? And that's our fear too as divine feminines. We're like, if he calls me, what am I going to say? How am I going to respond? If he actually does call me on the phone, what am I going to do? This is going to be crazy. Like, am I going to tell him, like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Like, are you going to jump down their throat? Or are you going to be just the beautiful, just the sweet person that you know you are? And because you're so happy to hear from them, you're just going to be like, oh my gosh. And you're going to melt in the moment, okay? Because you're not necessarily in their arms if if you're not seeing them in person. You're reading a text message, but you're going to be like all goo-goo-eyed over this text message. You're going to be all goo-goo-eyed over this this post or whatever this thing is that you know is meant for you to see. Okay, so it's going to happen. It's going to happen for you guys. This is why I'm telling you guys, Spirit wanted me to get on here and read you these lyrics and sing you this song, because this is what's coming. Communication is coming. It's on the way, okay? So you're going to need to be opening yourself up to it, especially if you've done the work, okay? You're going to need to open yourself up and not be wondering or saying things like, where have you been? What have you been doing? I mean, I've been waiting for you. I've been here all this time and you didn't say nothing. You've been watching me on my social media. I know you've been looking at my social media. What are you doing? So don't jump down their throat, okay? They have been really, really trying to process all of this and gather up the courage to be able to come forward to you. And if they're still in a karmic connection at the time, you're going to need to be patient. You're going to need to understand that they're trying to figure out who you are to them. And this is the reason why they're wanting answers and they're seeking out these answers. So that's maybe why they're contacting you, so they can figure out, why is this person so much on my mind? I don't understand this. It's very unnatural to them to be thinking about someone constantly like we did in that love bubble phase, right? Way at the beginning of our journey. We were in that love bubble phase. We were constantly thinking about them, constantly looking up stuff about them. And now that's where they're at. They're in that love bubble phase where they're starting to open up and realize who you are to them. And they're just bamboozled because they don't understand how someone can have such an effect on them. So once they know of who you are, once they start to research who you are to them, and they start understanding a little more about you, they're going to want to know more, and they may try to reach out. So this is what the song is saying. And, and so it's that whole nerve-wracking decision to have to make, to call someone or text someone for the first time, it can be very, very unnerving. So you have to be really patient. You have to be very understanding and caring and welcoming, okay? You have to welcome whatever communication that they have, even if it's, I wish I didn't like you so much. I don't know why I like you. Why, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? If they say that to you, you still have to go with it, because it's not up to you to solve that for them. It's just up to you to be patient and understanding and say, you know what? I totally get it. I understand you don't know what's happening, but if you want to work on, learning about it, I can help you. And if not, then, you guys just have to work on it separately again. It's just going to have to take time. You may go in and out of communication because of the fact that they might try to reach out and say something to you, and then all of a sudden, bam, they're gone again. This was a very, very, very hard thing for me to learn, lesson for me to learn, because when I was dealing with the false twin flames, that was what they were meant to do. They were meant to mock or mimic a period of going in and out of separation and communication, because they were sometimes communicating, sometimes not. They were, making me feel really good about things and how they were going, and then all of a sudden they would disappear. So I had to learn how to let that go and start to realize that I can't control the outcome. You can't, as a divine feminine, think you can control the outcome, whatever that might be. So you have to be willing to go with whatever spirit is leading you down the path of, and just say, hey, it's okay if you don't understand what's going on at this moment. You will eventually come to know what this is. If you keep trusting your heart, following your heart, trusting your intuition, and doing the work. And they will get it. They will get that. If they hear you say that to them, they will be so thankful, because internally their spirit is going to be like, yes, this is what I needed to hear. And so, you're going to have to do the tough things and say the tough things sometimes to them as a divine feminine. But yes, it's going to be very unnerving for them to try to come forward and ask you these questions, because they might be a little bit in shock because of how much effect you're having on them, and not understanding it. So let them come to their own conclusions by just being gentle and patient with them and understanding their communication. However they reach out to you, make sure you don't react. Okay, you just allow them to be. Allow them to say what they need to say, express themselves however they need to, and sometimes they might go, because they might say something that sounds a little bit rough or, insensitive, but that's not what they meant to say. So you just gotta be patient with them. Okay. So when you do that, you'll see that they'll eventually start thinking about it in their free time. They're going to be thinking about this constantly, especially if you have the first communication. They're going to be like, that's going to be the only thing on their minds for a long time, until they decide to communicate again, because they're going to have more questions that come up. So as the song goes, but when I get up the nerve to tell you the words, they never seem to come out right. Oh, if only you knew how much I do love you. Isn't that what we want to say? That's the main thing we want to say. And this is the hardest thing to say, because it's the most vulnerable thing, and we want to say it. And sometimes we might say something totally different because we're freaking out about being as vulnerable as saying, I love you to someone. And this is the next part of it says, if only you knew how much I do need you. Wow. That's just soak that in right now. These are the words. This is all you and them. This is all y'all want to say to one another. If only you knew how much I do love you. If only you knew how much I do need you. That's what y'all want to say. But it's so hard to say those words, isn't it? I know. It's hard, because you're just like, what are they going to do with that information? Are they going to just take me and, are they going to stomp over my heart and mess me over, take my money? And are they going to, come into my life and try to change me and do things? No, none of that's going to happen. All the fears that you've been thinking about, having nightmares about, all those things are going to dissipate. They're going to fade to black, because you're not going to have to worry about none of that, because your twin flame is the best lover you'll ever have. Your twin flame is the best partner you'll ever have. And they will never hurt you like that. And so that's why when people come on, the other social media platforms talking about, all these negative readings about this person did this to you. No, your twin flame is not that. They need to stop with all that negativity, because you know what? It is not about that. Your twin flame is there to bring you to your highest good, your highest love and light. Why would they tear you down? Why would they come into your life to make things worse for you? That's not what they're there for. They're there to help you ascend. So they can never be there to tear you down. So anybody that's tearing you down is not your true twin flame. Okay. So just know that, know that your twin flame, if they're your true twin flame, are there to help you elevate, ascend into your highest good. Ascension is the reason behind this journey. We are here to ascend to a new level of love and harmony and light and peace that we can help anchor into the world. Okay. This is our mission. Everything that we do, no matter what it is you're choosing to do that manifests physically in the 3D for your mission, it all has to do with tying it into ascending the human race into more love and light. That's it. It don't matter what you're doing. As long as you're helping people elevate into more love and light, you're doing your mission, and it's all the same. It's all the same, because we're all here for the same reason, to elevate, to raise the vibration of the planet, and to bring more love and light onto the planet, so that people can heal and become their greatest version of themselves, which is the most beautiful, loving, light person that they can be. Okay. So yeah, that powerful line right there, these words are so beautiful. And, and the next line, it says, I dream of moments we've shared, but you're not there. I'm living in a fantasy. And this is our divine feminine, this is our divine feminine, what do you call it? I don't even know what to call it. Like our plot twist. I don't know. This is what we go through every day. I'm trying to think of a word that's dramatic that's going to explain, but we know what it is. I dream of moments we share, but you're not there. I'm living in a fantasy. We do this every day. We have thoughts about our twin flame, about being with our twin flame. We're fantasizing about it. We're dreaming about it. And they are too. Now that they are awakened to the fact that they are a twin flame and that they have a significant other out there who is looking for them as well, they're dreaming about it too. And if they have caught a glimpse of who you are by means of social media or by way of seeing you in person, they are thinking about it all the time because they recognize your soul in them. And they recognize it in you because they saw your eyes and they saw that you are the other half of their soul. So that is also opening up the door to having them become more vulnerable and more aware of who they are as a spiritual being. So you're starting them on their spiritual pathway by awakening them, by, having that initial eye contact. That's what you did. You awakened them to their spiritual self, okay? So they're learning about all this, and now they're fantasizing about what it would be like to be with you. They're fantasizing and they're sitting there thinking about it. They might be getting caught up in it, and they may be having deadlines and stuff that they need to be working on, and they're like, oh my God, I let this time slip away. I got to do this. I got to get this deadline done. Okay, but they're so busy thinking about, dreaming about, fantasizing about being with you and what they're going to do when they be with you, that it's just like, they can't help themselves. And Spirit's like making me laugh because y'all know what I'm talking about. Those fantasies can get wild. Okay, so we got to just understand that they're fantasizing too, and they might be doing a little more than just fantasizing. But no, we might be too. It's just a natural human part of the pleasuring and the desiring that we have, that we want to be able to share with them. And that's the energy cord that's between you two. That's why you feel the heat, the flushing, the sensations of the sexual energy that's coming to you, because that's what they are doing. They're sending you that energy and you're sending it back to them. And you guys are trying to figure out where this is coming from. And once you awaken your twin flame, once they know now they can associate that energy with you, then hey, they're going to be trying to figure out how I can match this energy, how I can get more of it. Because you guys are meant to share that cord. It's meant to go, like this. It's not meant to, just like an avatar, the little symbolism of them locking their tails together. It's meant to go like this. It's not meant to, be conquered one or the other. It's not meant for one person to have more of it than the other person. You guys are meant to share this energy together. It's meant to be free flowing. So that's why you have to balance out your divine masculine and your divine feminine energies, because once you come together, you shouldn't be wanting to have to take so much from them or them having to take so much from you in order for this to work. It should be cohesive. It should be an equal balance and flow of energy coming in and out of the relationship and the connection, okay? So there shouldn't be more going to one side than the other. That should be done. You should have already balanced that out beforehand. The yin and the yang should be completely, stabilized by the time you come together, okay? So this is why communication is also so important, because there may be a time when they are pulling a little bit more of your energy this way, or you are pulling it a little bit more this way, and that's what repels you guys, and that's what causes you to go back into a little bit of a separation again through your communication, because they might stop talking to you for a few days, or they might be like, oh, she's taking too much, I just can't deal with this right now. So they might retract or retreat. And then you might be like, where are they at? You're like, going, okay, here we go. I need you to come here, right? But they're like, no, you got to go stay over there. Stay over there. I don't need that right now. It's the ebb and flow of being in this connection. And you're going to balance it out. Don't worry. If you don't hear from them for a while, it's okay. They're just working through it. They're just trying to figure out on their own what's going on, okay? So, oh my gosh, I'm just getting such good vibes by doing this video, y'all. This is going to help clear up a lot of questions you might have been having about what's supposed to happen after I've, done the healing work. What's supposed to happen when I'm going into my, communication phase. And what if I do end up going and meeting them and seeing them, and then they reach out to me? What am I supposed to do? You're supposed to let them be themselves, and you're supposed to be yourself, completely honestly yourself. Speak your truth. Tell them how it was. Yes, if they ask to hear about how it was on your journey, the whole time you're awakening to this, the fact that they were your twin flame, then you can tell them. But if they're not ready to hear that, then you can't rush it on them and try to force it down their throats. No, you have to let them open up to you in their own time, okay? So there may be questions they may ask. They may be very general, or they may be very specific. They might want to know more about you. They might want to know, where have you been? What have you been doing? Some of you guys might have been, you might have had lives, like separate lives, where you've had past families and past, you might have had a husband or a wife, and you might have had a whole another life, and they might want to hear about it. And that's okay too. You can tell them. That's when you have to be honest. Tell them your truth. Speak your truth. Let them know, yeah, I had a partner and this is what happened there. It didn't work out because I was meant to find you. We were meant to do this mission together. We were meant to do this work together. Yes, I had kids. Okay, there's a fly in here. So, sorry, that was just a little random. This fly wants to join in on the conversation, I guess. But yes, so there was, you might tell them about how you ended up in the situation where you had a family, you had, maybe you had a business, and you were in corporate America, or you were doing your thing and you were successful at it. And then you just one day realized, this is not for me. You had an epiphany, an aha moment, a revelation that this was not the life you were meant to live. And you started realizing that there was something greater out there for you to do. And you were meant to be, more impactful in this life to others. Okay. So this is what they're going to understand, and they're going to come to know about you. And this is your truth. You got to speak your truth. Tell them how you got to this point where you're, doing your mission now. You're fulfilling everything. You had to separate from that other karmic person. Tell them about it. It's nothing wrong with sharing the past, as long as you guys are both adults and willing to understand that, yeah, you had these experiences and they were meant to help you learn and grow. They were lessons, okay? They were your lessons to go through. This is what you signed up for before you came here. You can even tell them that, hey, I signed up for this. I did it and I don't regret it, because if I did regret it, then I would not be here talking to you right now, okay? Be honest. Just be raw. Be honest, and just know that whatever you tell them, they're not going to reject you, because they know this is your truth. Your truth is also their truth. Like I told you guys, they've been living their life also, and they've been doing things not unaware that you guys were meant to be together this whole time. Now, maybe they had an inkling, maybe they had dreams about you, maybe they had an idea, there was someone out there for them, but maybe they got caught up with a false twin flame. Maybe they got caught up with someone who tried to convince them that was who they were supposed to be to them, and that wasn't true. So just like I went through that experience, my twin flame went through it too. And so I know this, sorry about the fly, guys, but maybe I need to watch that movie, The Fly, or something. I don't know, because that fly is just like, that movie came out when I was like really young. And I remember being at the theater. This is a side note. And my mom covered my eyes because of the trailer. And the trailer came on when I was going to see E.T. And that was one of my favorite movies. So E.T. is one of my favorite movies of all from childhood. And we went to go see it at the movie theater. And The Fly was the movie that was being advertised. And my mom was like trying to cover my eyes up so I couldn't see the naked man with the fly, the fly suit on, or whatever it was showing. And so I have never seen that movie, because I always had like these wild suspicions that this movie was bad because of that experience. So see how little things like that, and I think that was what this was meant to happen, so I could show you guys and tell you guys little stuff like that. Why didn't you watch that movie? Because you were ashamed because something that happened way back when. Now you're an adult. You need to be doing stuff that you never did before. You need to go take those trips that you didn't have an opportunity to take when you were with that spouse that was just like always deadbeat, just doing nothing to help you. And you were doing all the work. You were working hard, and you were just like, man, they're not contributing at all. And I'm just sitting up here working and slaving away. They're just sitting up here on the couch or doing whatever, and not really wanted to go do anything fun or take me dancing or whatever it is that you wanted to do. You take those dancing classes now by yourself. Go meet someone at a dance class. Maybe you'll find someone that you can hang out with at a dance class that you never knew before. These are the things you got to do. You cannot be afraid to even meet new people, okay? So take those chances, get out there and do the things you need to do. Join a gardening club, join a book club, join something that is more socializing and that helps get you out of the funk, out of the hermit mode, because it's time for us to get out there, socialize, meet people. The more people you meet, the more you're going to see who's belonging in your social and your spiritual tribe, okay? So you might have a place to go. Like I joined a club that was meant to be like a social club. And then I started finding people who were going to help me with my mission. You never know. You never know what's going to happen if you just take a chance, do something you never thought to do before, and see the doors open up for you, okay? So I'm going to conclude this video, and I'm going to come back on here and add a little special treat, because I had a request for someone who wanted me to talk about a specific song, and it's a song that I have to make sure I get the lyrics right. So I'm going to have to go and write them down. Then I'll come back on here and I'll give you guys that part of this new song, which is another twin flame song, okay? So basically the song that I gave you with Patti LaBelle, the ending of that was the same thing. It obviously is, I dream of moments we share and you're not there. I'm living in a fantasy. Oh, excuse me, I forgot to put the part in. But you don't even suspect, could probably care less about the changes I've been going through. I just talked about the changes that we've been going through. And so I don't think I have to go over that part again. I think the words explain themselves very clearly. So you guys are getting the gist of what I'm saying. But the powerful way that song comes out when you sing it and when you hear it being sung is just so beautiful. Please go check out that song by Patti LaBelle and listen to it. Take it all in, absorb it, and even send it to your twin flame if you are so led. And I'm going to get back on here, like I said, and go over some lyrics of another song that's a twin flame song that was written by someone in the K-pop culture. So I want to say that for you guys for last, and that's our special treat. I'll see you in a minute, and we'll conclude this video.